Hello sunshines and welcome to my channel. We're gonna start this channel off with a garden tour. So welcome to my garden on the corner. All right, so this garden bed with the raised trellises, which was inspired by Roots and Refuge Farm on YouTube that I love watching. These are honeydew melon. So I will thin those out as they start to grow. Because we only need a couple plants to like do their thing and climb, but I'm gonna let them get a little bit bigger and see who's gonna be stronger. This is one of the tomato plants I bought from the store. I only bought 2 at the store, and the rest I grew from seed. So we're gonna kind of do a comparison to see how my plants stack up to the people that know what they're doing. And then we have some lettuces over there that are coming up, and hopefully some onions that will be poking up pretty soon. I'm pretty sure these are zucchini that are coming up, or cucumbers, or maybe both. I don't know. We'll see as they grow. So we have that going on. We have some more lettuces and this is the other store-bought, and this is an heirloom variety here. These are beans and peas and a pepper that I actually grew from seed. So there's that in this bed, and then moving to this one over here. Okay, so these are going to be cucumbers. There's a few different varieties, and I'm going to thin them as they get a little bigger and just let probably one or two of each variety grow up the trellis or grow out. So we'll kind of see as that goes how it's going to go, because we have some room here to let it spread out too. So I'll train some up and I'll let some run just because I like the way they look along the ground too. It's kind of pretty. And then I have these, like, they almost look like fire sunflowers right here. That I'm gonna thin these too just so they can get a decent size, but and we have some more like little lettuces and whatnot, chives over there. And then we have, all right, so I have herbs in this little bed. This one's doing really well. The basil, we had some hail and it was kind of rough. I had to replant quite a few of my tomato plants when that happened, but we're trying the best we can with the weather that we've had. Now we'll go to the side of my little barn here. And check out the pumpkins, the sunflowers. I just planted them this last weekend, so it might not be poking up yet. Oh, I gotta bring some water over here too. Doesn't look like they're poking up yet. So I'm going to have giant pumpkins and purple sunflowers over here. All right, on this one is squash and gourds. So I will thin these out too to 1 or 2 plants of each variety and let them climb up. And then I have 4 more tomatoes over there. I'm pretty sure there's one big boy and the rest are all cherry, and I grew all those from seed. We have some more stuff coming up here, and I don't exactly remember what I planted. I think it's a lettuce of some kind. We'll see as it comes up. And then I have watermelon, and of course I'm definitely going to have to thin those out. I have way too many to a couple plants, but we'll let them get a little bit more mature and see who's going to be the strongest. And then we'll get those thinned out quite a bit. Okay, and then these are our other strawberries that I have put in here that should take over this bed as they get mature and spread out. And look at what we have. Our first pick of the year. You want to do the honors, Grayson?
Yes. You have to record.
I'll let George pull. Yep.
I don't know how to pick strawberries.
There you go. Yay! First strawberry of the year. First thing out of the garden this year. Very cool. All right, so this is my next project. It hasn't had a lot of attention this spring. We had some, like a big lilac bush tree, and then this other thing going on, and a big old wild rose bush, and we pulled all of that out last year. And so now, like, I'm not a huge flower person, so this is all new. Of course, it obviously needs some attention in here, but we have some daffodils. The iris have always been here. They were my husband's mom. This used to be his house, and we bought it from them when the kids were really little, when Grayson was a baby. And so this is the first year they've actually got to bloom since we've pulled all the big plants out, and they're looking very, very good. So I'm gonna let them spread out. Hostas I planted last year, little tiny guys, and they're getting bigger, which is kind of cool. I'm gonna get all the weeds out of here. And my columbine plant is doing just beautifully. It's just so pretty. So we're gonna put some more flowers and stuff in here, and but this is the next project, probably this weekend, so it's looking pretty rough right now. So this is the before. So I will give you the after, obviously. We live in Nebraska, and we had a rough spring, like western Nebraska, eastern Wyoming area. It was cold, it was snowy for a long time. And then, you know, we finally get plants in the ground probably end of May, right to the beginning of June, and it hailed like 2 or 3 times. And so it has been a rough start to everything. Grayson, check this out. And then this is my big wild rose bush that obviously needs some pruning too. So that's what's going to be happening this weekend, because I do have a full-time job, and it's going to be blooming pink roses. This were also my mother-in-law's thing. And then here's Grayson's fairy garden, which obviously needs some weeding too, but he's really bad at helping me, so we need to work on that. So
I'm Grayson. I'm her son. We had 2 sprouts in these, but they're not. Oh no, there's still a sprout here. So I have 1 sprouted cactus. This cactus had a sprout. I think it might have died, but we're kind of giving it another chance, and this one hasn't sprouted at all yet. So we're trying to grow cactuses. If we can't grow them, then we're probably going to just buy some that are already grown. All right, peace.
okay, so these are the ones I have left. I've been giving some away. I think I'm going to get some pots and put them in. I have an interesting story. This tomato, he was having trouble, and then he died, and so I broke him off and forgot about him. But he has decided that he still wants to live, and he has grown new leaves. So I think I'm going to put him in a pot and see what happens, because he's pretty hardy. What do you do when they have that much will to live? You see what happens. All right, and here's a mint plant that I put in, and it should fill out this container for my teas and whatnot. And then this is my roots, and there's carrots, beets, radishes of a few kinds, lettuces, arugula, all of that kind of stuff is in this one bed here by itself. And then we have this bed over here, which is peppers and tomatoes mostly. As you can tell, we had hail, and my pepper plants are trying to make a comeback though. They are growing little leaves, but they got beat up pretty good, so I did go ahead and buy a few pepper plants just in case they didn't come back all the way. But they're really trying. They are not giving up. Kind of same with this tomato plant. It got beat up pretty bad, but it is trying. It's growing new leaves down there, which is kind of interesting. So it's just not giving up. There's strawberries from last year that came back that are doing pretty good. We have a few radishes in here too, just because I love them. And so we have cherry tomato. This is a Brandywine pink. All of these down, I grew from seed in the house this year. First time ever, so we'll see how that experiment goes. My bigger plants, they really got knocked out by the hail, so I had to plant with smaller plants, but they are growing, which I was kind of worried they weren't going to, but they are. And it looks like we have one sunflower from last year that came up a mammoth. So we're just gonna let him go and see how he does. And then I just noticed this plant got kind of knocked over. So we'll just kind of see how he does. Might have to let him grow along the ground. But and then a few more peppers. And then we have corn over here, and yes, I know it needs weeded again. But it's very willy-nilly sowed in there, but it's coming up. So and of course the stars of the show, my cats. A Cinnamon, Copper, and then my blue healer. Quit digging, Huckleberry. That's Huckleberry. We have a few mammals around here. Georgia, Chloe, and Lycan, the black cat, drinking out of the bird bath over there. So that concludes our first garden tour. I will tell you more about myself in videos to come. Yes, we are filming with an iPhone. We will be getting some better equipment also, but if we didn't get started, we wouldn't get started. So here's the beginning of a wonderful, wonderful time. Thank you, Sunshines. Until next time.